Introduction to Joshua. Author Joshua. However, some elders that outlived Joshua chapter 24 to 31, probably added portions to the book after his death. Date written between 1410 and 1350 BC. Time span 15 to 26 years. Title from the book's main figure, Joshua. Background. Joshua is almost stoned to death by his own people, Numbers chapter 14, verses 6 through 10. Nearly 40 years before the book of Joshua begins, because out of 12 spies to Canaan, only he and Caleb determined to obey God's directions to conquer the land. Because of their unbelief to accept God's covenant, the children of Israel spent 40 years in the wilderness. But now Joshua, Moses' successor, is preparing to lead the Israelites from the wilderness in their conquest to the promised land, where written, east of the Jordan River, the wilderness, before the conquest, and west of the Jordan River, Canaan, thereafter. To whom? To the Israelites. Content. The book of Joshua is primarily the history of Joshua's leadership of Israel. Under divine guidance, Joshua engages in 3 strategic military operations using brilliant divide and conquer tactics, ensuring victory over the enemy armies in Canaan. God's miraculous interventions, including the crossing of the Jordan River and the conquest of Jericho, prove to Israel that God is aiding their efforts. The division of the promised land among the tribes of Israel and their subsequent settlement in the new land take place. Finally, Joshua exhorts the people before his death to renew their covenant and devote themselves to serve and love God wholeheartedly. Keywords: choose and serve. Joshua emphasizes that we must do both by his admission to choose you this day whom ye will serve. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Joshua 24 and 15. Themes. Our greatest asset is not our physical ability or cleverness. It is our faith in God's ability to overcome in our behalf. Victory comes through faith in God and obedience to His word. Sin must be dealt with at once because it brings severe consequences. God is always true to His promises. All things are possible if we have faith in Him, who made all things. It is our responsibility to be obedient and faithful to the covenant of God. God punishes sinful nations as well as sinful individuals. Outline: Israel's preparation for the conquest of Canaan. Joshua chapter 1 verse 1 through Joshua chapter 5 verse 15. Number 2, the conquest of Canaan. Joshua chapter 6 verse 1 through Joshua chapter 12 verse 24. Number 3, the allotment of land of Canaan by tribe. Joshua chapter 13 verse 1 through Joshua chapter 21 verse 45. And number 4, Joshua's farewell and death. Joshua chapter 22 verse 1 through Joshua chapter 24 verse 33. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading of the introduction of the book of Joshua.